Caught my husband cheating on me with his female friend, and now I'm torn between wanting to confront them and questioning what she has that I don't. I've been married almost 35 years, yes, to the same person, and while it hasn't been perfect, it's been alright. Kids, dog, white fence. I've got those. Our personal lives have suffered somewhat. I went from being a virgin on my wedding night, to stepping out of my comfort zones to please him sexually, ménage à trios, to where Saturday, it will be 6 years since we've been intimate at all. For the longest time, I thought he was having an emotional affair with his male friend, that he had fished with, but had become ill, with cancer, because he would drop everything and anything for him, including plans we had, for him. Plus there were a few texts, that while not sexual, were more than friendship. But for some reason, while I was hurt, I was not threatened. I know he is extremely ill, there is no physical relationship going on, his time is short, and once this was out of his system, he would be back to his normal self and me as wife. I'm really sorry if my words sound crude, that's not how I want them to sound, but once he passed, my husband would be back to me. So I was gone this past week, dog sitting / house sitting for my sister, and got home last night to check the mail. There was a blank envelope with everything typed, inside was a short note, picture above. I know who the female is, it's one of his friends. I'm completely devastated. To me a woman is harder to compete with. What does she have / do that I don't? I decided to get healthy, and lost weight. I've lost over 130 pounds, I don't hear nothing from him. I went to the doctor last week, dressed nicely, and he told me I was embarrassing him, that his wife was running around town looking like a whore. With her tits hanging out, I had a slight my off-the-shoulders whitey lay with dark jeans. Since finding this out, I've become obsessed, in finding Ev. Edence, I stalk her Facebook, their call logs, he calls her an average 68 times a day with calls lasting 5 to 15 minutes. I'll drive by her house, I'll type and delete her name, phone number, address. Wanting to confront both of them, blame her, blame him. Wonder what she has I don't. How I can fix this, do I want to fix it, do he? What do I do? Where do I go? How? I've cried for 2 days now, I can't stand to look at him, and I'm afraid to talk to him, up here. I can't edit my post. Part of the reason for the dead bedroom was due to medication we were both on messed with both our libido. Between blood pressure, diabetes, depression, medication, it messes with your body. I spoke with my doctor, got mine changed up, got the drive back, he didn't. There wasn't much that could change in terms of his meds, but it's obvious I don't do it for him. Update 1. So I started scanning phone logs, daily phone calls to and from her 6 to 7 plus times a day, 20 to 40 minutes each. I had a typo in my first post. I went through his office, nightstand, etc. I don't know exactly what I was looking for, but I was looking for something. I would drive by her house when he would leave. In other words, I was going crazy, and by Wednesday, I broke. I was tired of him acting like it's a normal day, that there was nothing going on. I could not take it anymore. And I first wanted to talk to her. So I took off in my car, drove to the dog park, empty. So I drove to her house, started pounding on her security door, and ringing her doorbell. She has a ring, telling her to open her effing door, and if you're woman enough to FK a married man, you should be women enough to talk to his wife. This went on maybe 10 minutes or so, she didn't answer. I text my husband that we needed to talk and that I know. My sister is on the phone with my, trying to calm me down and to get me to leave her place, before the police are called. In the 3 minutes, yes, he picked someone in our community, it took me to get home. Not only had she called him, she also sent him the video. So I confronted him, somewhat. It was more like, he gaslit me the entire time. He talked down, get your ass in the house, I can't believe you did something so effing stupid, etc. Turned it around on me, you were always sitting on the couch, unless your sister invites you out, and didn't deny he was with her, it's none of your business. When I asked if he would stop seeing her, he said he would not give her up. She is a good friend of his, and the biggest smack in my face, he wants me to apologize to her for embarrassing her in her neighborhood. And I guess she is talking about filing a restraining order against me. So Thursday and Friday I finished my pity party, and Saturday, I started doing things I never thought I would have to do on my 35th anniversary. I reached out to divorce attorneys, they were closed, but filled out the forms for consultations. I also started a resume, and applying for jobs, but after not working for 20 plus years, what kind of work am I going to be qualified for? I stayed at my sister's this weekend. I needed the change of scenery, between his attitude, the not happening anniversary, and the funky feeling. I needed a break. Update 2. So it's been about a month since I found out about his affair. It still sucks. And I'd like to say I've totally gotten over him, but one doesn't turn off feelings like a light switch, at least I don't, and sometimes, I think, maybe we can fix this, but then he does something all a whole again, and I'm back on track with my plans and goals. So I've set goals for myself, and have been working towards them. My first one, get a job. I was a housewife 99% of my marriage. Not only did I get one, I found 2 that I can work at the same time. I opened a secret account, not in my name, and am stashing all my extra money in it. He controls all the house money, tightly, so I have to get creative. He knows about one job, not the other. One though. I've gone back to school to get my degree, geared towards what I'm doing. So far, it's going good. I'm remaining positive and pushing forward. even when he gets negative towards me, you're just going to quit. You will flunk out, etc. I am saving for a small place, hopefully a little adu or an apartment, that will allow my little dogs. Once the apartment is lined up, then I will file for divorce. I need to make sure I have a safe place to go, because he will become nasty once served. So far, things are calm here. I don't ask about her although they speak daily still, and I'm sure are hanging out. In our community, it's like he is trying to rub my nose in it. The thing is I'm not letting him know or see that it's bothering me, at all. Which in turn, is bugging the crap out of him. So he threatened to take my phone away. Okay fine, I went and bought a cheap burner phone, just in case he does. So now, he has switched to being nice. He has bought parts for my car, paid the labor, bought my scrubs and equipment I need for work and school. He asked for a list and bought it. It's times when he's nice. I think there might be hope for us, but as long as she is in the picture, nope. Then he turns back into the ass again with empty threats, and knocking down my confidence, and I'm back to counting months until I can move. Update 3. I just worked an overnight shift, so I'm tired. So we are in the month of June, and quite a bit has transpired. Some good, some not. I finally broke down and told my kids. Those were extremely difficult calls to make, and I told them everything. I took responsibility for my part, and admitted I could have done things better. They, my kids all older, said while not perfect, I did my best with what I had, and that didn't excuse his cheating. My eldest wanted to come out and go a few rounds with his dad, and confront the other woman. I told him, it wasn't worth it. Second son is my thinker. He didn't say much, but he is deep in thought. You can tell. Third son said it's about time. With the way he talked to you, and treated you, I hope you're thinking about leaving. I was honestly on the fence. He would flip-flop between I want to work on us, and fix us to his actions said differently, and my past 2 weeks have been the worst. So since he has been using my son's car, my son put a tracking device in his car. Yes, I have access to it. No, he does not know about it. He would tell me he is going to one place and go straight to the other woman's house, and if I would ask where he was, he would lie to my face. I just kept notes on it. Until I couldn't anymore. Father's Day, I had worked the night before, got off work at 8 a.m., had texted him what he had wanted for dinner that night, stopped at the store, bought everything, came home, got it started, and tried to take a nap. Mind you, he did nothing whatsoever on Mother's Day. He wakes me up to borrow $40 to go to a sporting goods store, so I said fine, dinner's in an hour and a half, Plaza don't be late. 2 hours later not back. I checked the tracking, he went straight to her house and had not moved. So I go do a drive-by, his car is parked in the garage, she is parked outside, so I come back home. I'm more upset for my son. I text him, you need to come home, we need to talk, I know you're not at the sports store. Nothing. After 30 minutes, his car still had not moved, so I called her. Of course she doesn't answer. So I leave a voicemail, I know my husband is at your house. You win, I'm done. It's obvious he wants to be with you, I'm tired of the lies, his bull, he doesn't want someone who has loved and fought for him for 35 years, I'm done. Come get his dog, and his stuff, you've won. And I hung up. 10 minutes later he comes in, with a Walmart bag, says he went to Walmart, then a friend made tacos for him. I dished up servings for my son and I, then threw the rest of the meal in the trash. He gives me attitude, because she feels threatened now because I called her, now she has to change her number, and in her line of work, she will lose clients. I didn't threaten her, I told him if he wasn't happy here he knew where the door was, he was welcome to use it. He was quiet all week, but was a jerk as well, and his only concern was seeing that woman. I had melanoma removed, I needed a driver, so he took me. When I got in the car, not one word, no how are you, how did it go? Are you okay? Nope. All he said was, I'm hungry. And it was the 30th anniversary of losing my sister to melanoma, so I was extra sensitive. Little things were just adding up, he was forgetting things that I needed, or I had asked. I was at the bottom of his list. On our son's birthday, he couldn't even wait for him to blow out the candles before he went to her house. So this last Sunday, he was going through the kitchen cabinets, pulling some soup out, and said he was going to take it to this couple who have been stranded down the road for a couple weeks in a broken down RV. So I gathered a few more items, and whatnot, and he leaves, but leaves the bag of stuff on the counter. I check, and yep, he went right to her house. This was it. My last bit of energy, for this marriage. So I text him again, I don't understand why you need to lie. There is no dog park, hiking trail, fishing spot, sporting goods store, broken down RV, nor Walmart on Bunker Hill. Why not be honest and tell me you're going to her house? It's obvious, regardless of what you're saying, you don't want to work on our marriage. You have and are choosing her over your family. And send it. And I tried to call him, didn't answer, so I text. Didn't think he would answer. Not even 5 minutes later he comes screeching in the driveway, slamming in the house, screaming, what the F is wrong with you? You fing mother fing b. I'm sure if I was in the same room as him, he would have hit me. I told him I'm tired of him lying to me, just tell me he's going to the whore's house. He's been going this entire time, and yet still lies about it, and doesn't he think if I'm questioning where he is, I know? He called me a few choice names and ignored me the rest of the night. I'm sure my neighbors loved it. I went yesterday, Monday, to file for divorce. And got news. Because he is a 1099 employee, Hasn't technically worked in almost 2 years, although my bills are paid, because I'm not on his bank accounts. I never have been, I've always had to ask for money from him. And because he stopped me from doing his taxes 3 years ago, because they were too complicated for you. If I were to file for divorce right now, and ask for alimony, he could immediately file to lower it, and the judge could agree with him. My lawyer suggested waiting 3 months to file, as he is now working again, started this week, and submits paper bids, so I'm to collect as much evidence as I can in the meantime. He was impressed with as much as I did have this far.